Got me screaming. I popped another. Got me screaming. I popped another. Yeah, I'm too legit. Probably make you quit. Nickel might blitz. QB getting hit. I'm out here giving fits. Defense held a lit. Gunslinger. Dead eye. Boy, I never
So we're
miss.
back. Another episode of the Madden Underground broadcast podcast with my guy Philly guy B Guard. We got Snipes in the building, so we fully loaded. We started late, but we're able to get Snipes in here, and we're really able to really dig deep into this Madden. You know what I mean? We're really able to talk some real Madden talk. I don't know if you guys are ready, but I'm ready to get into it. The trailer dropped last week, and everybody, the reveal, I should say, and everybody was geeked about it. How do you guys feel about the game right now? I know we started to talk about it, but then the system went out. So how do you guys feel about how you feel about what you've seen so far? Philly said he waited. B Gar said intrigued. What about you, Snipes?
Well, you know what? Because of the fact that I've played, I played the next gen version of 21, and I was playing it for a little while.
Yeah.
I like the little subtle changes that they've already made. It definitely moves a lot better than 21 does. So I'm intrigued because the good thing about it is, obviously people are playing the beta. This is a beta, and it already feels better than 21 did. So, you know what I mean? So there's so many changes that they can make. And I'm sure you guys as well, too. You're probably, writing them and telling them what's wrong with this and what's wrong with that. I know I told them about the RPO being broken first day, and it's fixed now. It's been fixed. So it seems like they're hard at work with everything right now. And then on top of that, seeing them come out with stuff about franchise first, that was big to me too. You know what I'm saying? Now it's not everything we want yet, but it's good to see that they had no choice. We know this already. They had no choice but to get everybody, entangled with franchise first. Because mud ain't going nowhere. But people were upset about franchise. And it's good that they tackled it.
They did a very extensive deep dive
in
the franchise. And it's somewhat undeniable. It's borderline undeniable, and that's something that I want to talk about and elaborate on a little bit too. But we're gonna start with just first impressions right now. And like you said, just after getting your hand onto the beta and messing around with it a little bit, you instantly see the difference. Especially if you're coming from current gen going into next gen, it's definitely a breath of fresh air, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So that I actually like the game. I like what it's not finalized or anything, but what we've seen so far, it's great. It's great. So there's definitely a lot of room for improvement though, but it's definitely something that we can actually take and enjoy and have fun with for the moment while they kind of improve what the game is. I know Philly guy has a lot to say about that. But before we get into that, what is the most distinctive thing you noticed about the game, Philly, right out the gate?
You talking about for like gameplay?
I'm just saying, just period. What is the first thing that jumped out at you when you first started playing?
I mean, the first thing was that I was actually able to run football concepts. That was the first thing that jumped out at me, because I think the speed of the game can change in different versions of Madden, and you might expect it to be slower or faster. It's a beta version, but it was the fact that the football concepts that I was familiar with were actually usable on the game, so I didn't have to worry about somebody playing on the middle linebacker and covering 4 different routes. I didn't have to worry about every receiver being open just because the coverages broke down, or the coverages didn't break down. Like it was just, I could start to settle down and start to get into tendencies, and I can make adjustments at halftime. So, I like the simulation feeling. I really did. Really did. It jumped out at me right away.
Okay. I want to talk. I want to talk about a little bit about something that's the first thing I noticed about the game was the momentum meter. I'm gonna tell you that. I know everybody's been hearing about that throughout the social media and whatnot, and that's something that everybody's been concerned about is momentum, like momentum, and it plays a big factor. It plays a huge factor in the game, and me personally, I think it could be a good thing and a bad thing. But I'm leaning towards more so towards good, for a set of particular reasons. If you're playing, it gives you an opportunity to play with teams that aren't as good and have somewhat of an opportunity to be in the game in spite of, you know. So say for instance you're playing with the Lions. I'm gonna say the Lions because in my opinion they're the worst team in the NFL. Team that nobody, if I'm in the franchise, I don't want to get. I'm praying I don't get. So if you find yourself playing with the Lions or a team like that, that momentum meter, you're at home, you're playing at home in Detroit, and you got an opportunity to get the ball, you score first. You're able to put a little bit more pressure on your opponent with the Lions, even though you're playing with the Lions. You know, so it's not like, oh, I'm just better than the Lions. I'm just going to go drive down here and score. It has a little momentum, the home field advantage and things like that. Gives you an opportunity to compete a little bit more with the lesser teams. So how do you guys feel about it?
I gotta wait and see. Like, I think I've only played a couple days of the beta. Don't really have a firm grasp yet on it. I gotta get some more info. I'm not gonna give an opinion one way or the other. So for me, it's to be determined.
Okay. What about you, Snipes?
I like it. I like the momentum meter. I've noticed in a couple of online games that I played that even I actually had one particular game that I played actually today, where I was down 17-0 at the half. And then the second half, and I was using the Giants. The second half, I just say, you know what? Let me just start trying to run the ball a little bit. Ended up coming back and beating the guy 24-17.
Oh wow.
So I stopped him at the and it was, I think it's because of that momentum meter. And that's the crazy thing, because I started running the football and was getting positive yards here and there. I wasn't trying to throw long bombs all day and dropping. I wasn't dropping a lot of balls either. And I did notice that too with the momentum meter. You start catching a lot of balls, you don't drop a whole lot. At least not in the beta. You don't drop a whole lot if you start proceeding to catch a lot of balls. You start not to drop a lot of balls at all.
Yeah,
I'm noticing that as well.
Especially if you consistently taking that check down, or you consistently taking that check down. It drives that meter a little bit because you're consistently connecting on the plays. So that's one positive and one thing that I definitely like.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. I know Philly has a lot to say about it. What do you have to say about it, Philly?
Well, yeah, I mean, look, I've been playing since the beta came out with the Jets. I think the highest overall ranking I've been able to get is like 20th overall. For whatever reason, there's been a lot of drops and disconnects, and I don't know who's searching and who isn't searching, but in the games where you actually get to play, if you're playing at home, you get it going, it's a great thing. If you're playing on the road and you already know that the deck is stacked against you, you feel like you're on the road, and you gotta play better, you gotta play smarter, and it's like I said, it's just a great thing because you have an opportunity to compete. I mean, it really feels like the momentum meter recognizes the differences between the two teams.
Definitely.
So, you make a big play as a lesser team, and the meter can shoot up. You make a play as a better team, the home team, the meter doesn't really move as much. So, I would have reservations. Like Vigard is saying, with how the final product looks, but right now I just don't have any because it's a feature that we have never had before, and it actually feels great. It actually feels great. It actually feels like it belongs in the game. So I'm a huge fan of it.
I will say, like, I think as you guys, about hearing you guys, it'd be a good thing for franchise because, like, home field will actually matter. Like that will actually matter.
Definitely. Now, I'm not sure how that plays out into Mutt long term wise, but
I don't think I think it'd be great for franchise. I'm not sure how much people are gonna like that.
Nah,
Cause you home field is completely randomized in that where in franchise you're getting 8 home or actually 17 games now. Like I how does that even work now? Like if you have a losing record, you get the extra home game. Like
I don't know.
and I see a
That's a
question.
good question.
I see a question. So in the NFL, does the stadium other than a select few really make it an advantage? Biggest challenge is when it
I
comes
mean,
to
ask
being
Seattle, ask Seattle,
okay.
ask
So
Kansas City.
I'm gonna tell you this because I have a list of home field momentum abilities or whatever you want to call them. So the Arizona Cardinals have a rise up Red Sea, and the Cardinals gain momentum. They gain momentum quicker when they're at home or whatever. So they get momentum a little bit faster than most teams.
Mm-hmm.
Rise up Falcons home team gains bonus momentum on offense. When the crowd gets into the game. All 32 teams have a benefit to them, so it's not like it's only a select few stadiums that you go to. All 32 teams have a home field advantage. Home field advantage. So
I will say this: the Chargers shouldn't get it because they play 17 road games a year. That stadium is neutral at best if they for the home game when they're home game.
Last year, I would say with no fans in the stadium, it was kind of like okay,
They have an advantage.
But when they have games this year, everybody's coming to see the away team. Like everybody's coming to see the away team at the Chargers game. So like that's kind of sad. Baltimore has trust the system while winning home team gets bonus momentum on running plays, which is crazy.
Trust the system, trust the process. Bunch of dorks, man.
So they're asking about Dallas. They said Dallas. Let's see what Dallas has. Dallas has deflected away team's punt distance is shortened if kicking across the 50-yard line.
That's lame.
Hey, I guess
that's so lame.
That big scoreboard gets in the way at some point in time.
It does get in the way. That's the first thing I thought of.
That's the only thing I can think of that had anything. Let's see.
Punters are gonna shank. So punters are gonna shank punts because isn't that what the Detroit punter did? The one playoff game they've won in the last 2 decades.
I know that the Jets and the Giants have the same one. Turf war, away team fatigues quicker.
Okay.
Philadelphia, LinkedIn, momentum gains increase for home team, decrease for away team. So,
what if the Eagles getting blown out, like the snowball effect?
Oh, if the Eagles are getting blown out, then that benefit punishes the Eagles. So like
the snowball effect. Snowballs keep flying in from the sidelines.
They get hit. Coach hits in the head. He falls out, bleeds out or whatever. But it's crazy. But they have a lot of different things. They have the 12s for the Seattle Seahawks. Away team is distorted play on 3rd and 4th downs. That's crazy. Like when that momentum gets to going, and I'm assuming this is when the momentum bar is full. This is when they start. You start feeling the impact, and I know they have two ability points or whatever. I'm not sure if that's the specific word for it, but they have 2 points of where you can activate certain abilities that are benefits to being home or away. If you're away and you're kicking butt and you got the momentum, then those things may swing to your advantage and you'll be able to take advantage of those things, even though you're the away team. So that's one thing that I actually liked about it is that if you're actually whooping on the home team, there are some perks that come with that, and you can actually benefit from certain things in that manner. So that's just something I wanted to talk about in regards to that. Anything you guys want to add about the momentum?
Let's see. Craziest thing I've seen.
They're asking about Vegas. Let me see what the Raiders talking about over here.
Loosen slots.
All these things will be posted on the website tonight, following the broadcast. Let's see.
Loosen slots.
Las Vegas Raiders just win, baby. When winning, home team has increased momentum gain in fatigue recovery. So they don't get as tired as they normally would, which is a benefit, I guess. If you're asking about the Rams house, home team has bonus momentum on defensive stops. So that means that if they get a stop, that means that Aaron Donald is going to be even crazier on the field. So that's that.
Boy,
So that's
Jalen Ramsey as well.
Oh, Jalen Ramsey as well, man. I'm not sure if anybody watched Jameis Winston's workout this week, but who that? Away team receivers can mistakenly get incorrect routes on 3rd and 4th down.
Wait, what?
Wow.
What?
Wow.
Away team receivers can mistakenly get incorrect
Dog, if I
routes
send somebody on a
3rd and 4th
streak
down.
and they run a slant, I'm going to be heated.
Oh,
Yo.
boy.
And keep this in mind. There are certain ability points where you can't you can't hot route certain receivers. Like there's been times in the game where you can't hot route certain receivers, and I'm not sure if that's gonna stay in the game, but that happened to me on the beta, and it was kind of crazy. I'm not even sure we're supposed to talk about this right now, but I'm just telling you, like it's a possibility. I've seen all the other YouTubers talking about it.
I think we're good. I think we're good as long as we're not.
Footage. We're not
Yeah,
showing.
as long
Yeah,
as
we're not showing any footage
or
at all.
images.
Yeah,
we're
we're
good.
fine. We're fine.
Gameplay footage, but I'm like,
Yeah,
we're
what it
fine.
is. But
Yeah, EA, try to take us down, EA.
No, don't try to take us down. Let's ignore B-Guard. That is white privilege talking. So like B-Guard be getting carried away, like try to take us down.
My lawyers will be on your ass, EA.
Yeah, so like so yeah, definitely they got all the abilities that you can see it. Dimes posted a link in there. We were trying to get that traffic on our site, but I appreciate you posting that link, Dimes, for everybody not to go to our site. And
Yeah, asshole.
so
Ban him. Ban him.
He's definitely he's abolished. He said Madden makes me contemplate using drugs. No, I think you're going to like this game, Zilla. I actually think you may love this game, Zilla. Everybody, and I know everybody's has been hysterically panicking about a lot of different things about the game that they've been hearing, but don't press the panic button yet. Wait till you play. If you have not played the game, do not call. Don't start saying like, "Oh, it's trash." It's
and
this, that.
That's the thing, though. I remember I had to talk to somebody like on the beta notes when
It's
they had
beta.
like
it's literally a beta.
Yeah.
Like none
they
of this
had
stuff
like
could be in the
known
game.
issues. They had known issues, which are issues they know about and are working on.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
and somebody cropped out the known issues part and said and put that and decided to put that on Twitter and get a bunch of likes and stuff. And I was like, guys, this is the beta.
And you're gonna get
the coaches aren't even updated on the playbooks yet.
No.
Yeah.
They're not. So
Exactly.
you're going to get they don't even have the ratings on the game. So like that's another thing. We'll get into that in a second. But you're gonna get a lot of trolls that are talking about Madden is trash, Madden is this, Madden is that. I had a guy I posted. I'm just having fun playing next gen, and a guy jumped on my post and he jumped on my post at 4 a.m, bro. It was 4 a.m, and I just happened to be up and see him going. He was going in like, yeah, I know a lot of dudes are ducking in next gen because they don't want that current gen smoke. And I'm like, what? Like what? No, bro. It's a new game. Like we're just playing a new game. Like he was like, no, you just don't. The tiers are different, and you don't want that current gen smoke. And I'm like, all the goons are on the current gen. You guys are hiding in next gen because you don't want that current gen smoke. And I was like, no, we just
The
paid.
goons, the goons are about to be on next gen too, though. I'm saying like
Dumbasses.
MCS is gonna be on next gen.
That's what I'm saying.
Don't come on now.
They haven't announced it. They
They
feel
ain't
like-
gotta announce it.
I
They ain't
don't
gotta
feel like you
announce it.
got to. Like if they do it on,
They have to.
the only way
If
they
you follow,
would.
if you follow me if you're my friend on Facebook, go to my Facebook page. You can actually see this dude was dead serious, bro. Like, yo,
The only reason I can see them not going the next gen is like there's been such a shortage on consoles. Like that's the only way
yeah,
because of
Nah.
the chip,
Nah.
the semiconductor
don't-
chip.
I think they
Bro,
put
you
so
can-
much work into this game that they want to show. I actually think they're proud of this game. In my opinion, I think like yeah, they want to. You get that bad chick. She may not be able to complete a sentence. She bad though. She look good, But she ain't got no common sense. She
You'll still rock her on the street and just
But you
tell her,
still-
yo,
you
just
still gonna floss her 'cause the homies gonna be like,
don't
hey,
say nothing.
Don't speak.
She bad.
Just be quiet. Don't say nothing. Just
She
walk
bad.
down the
You
street
know.
with me.
That's what
That's it.
That's what I feel like the EA dudes are feeling like right now. They done hit y'all with the all
So
the franchise news.
So they've been walking with a 2 for the like what
Last
the last
5 years, yeah.
decade.
But when you
The last
get
decade,
you a
they've
bad
been
chick,
walking
and
with a
when you
two.
get you that bad chick, you gonna take her to the mall. Y'all gonna go window shopping. Y'all gonna go eat ice cream in the parks just to be seen with her. You know, and that's what EA kind of feeling like right now. They feeling like they got a pretty girl with this game. So
Yeah, just
We gotta keep in mind too, because when you talk about like the shortages and this, that, and the third, there's not a lot lately anyway. There's not been a lot of shortages of Xboxes.
Nah.
Xboxes have been all over the place, and even if you get more Series S's and X's, they're still all over the place.
And that's the thing too. I want to talk about the Series S. I know a lot of guys have been complaining about, oh, I want the big baller console. Like, bro, if you only play Madden, go get an S, man. An X is not gonna do you no justice. It's not gonna be.
Sure
it's
ain't.
not that big of a difference.
Sure
Just go
ain't.
get an S. Save you some money.
the
Go
X,
get an
yeah,
S.
like that. The X is for like if you gonna do other stuff.
Yeah.
Like if you just playing Madden, you don't need to drop $500 for a console.
Yeah. Don't do that. Yeah, it's go get you an S if you plan on current gen. You're gonna eventually have to upgrade anyway. So just go ahead and upgrade, bro. Go get you a current gen. Next gen console.
B, I'll tell you right now, because some people, they'll listen to this and say, nah, I'm gonna wait. And if that X still isn't available, I promise you, when Madden comes out, and then once they make the official announcement that MCS is on next gen, I guarantee you, then they'll go buy an S. They ain't gonna wait no more. Because if they wait, they're not gonna get any better. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna tell you what the funniest thing ever was. When they dropped the beta code and everybody found out it was next gen only, and they were sitting there like, oh well, what? Why? Like, what? That was the funniest thing ever. Was that like they were like, this is gonna be on current gen too, and
they've moved on, man. They've moved on.
They
current
moved
gen.
on, bro. They moved on. Like, you're gonna get a game and it's gonna have some features like, but
Like
they putting that energy into next gen, bro. That's why they promoting and pushing it on the commercials.
Next gen has more capabilities. There's more things you can do with it. Like I feel like they maxed out on what they could do with like Madden 19. Like I think
it's completely
they
maxed out. Completely
they
maxed
out. They're like, there's not a lot more we could change with this.
We talking next gen. I got next gen right here. I got a next gen right there. Don's flossing in there. I can floss too, bro. I got about 5 consoles in this room alone. That's not even counting what's in the other room. But if we floss the next gen, But yeah. Anyways, let's talk about they got EA released a schedule, so I'm gonna let you guys know what's going on with the schedule that they have coming up for the upcoming days. So here's the schedule. On the 21st, they released the franchise news. We got that franchise news. We were geeked up. We're gonna dive into that in a minute. They're gonna jump into Dynamic Game Day on the 28th, so that should be next week sometime. Face of the franchise, which we don't care about.
Nobody does.
Nobody cares about this mode, but they keep bringing it back. I will say this: my daughter plays it. My daughter loves Face of the franchise, so maybe that's what that's for.
You need to get her off of that. Get her off. Don't encourage that. That's why EA keeps bringing it back.
She likes Face of the franchise and Knockout KO, which I see is on here too. Superstar KO. So we got that, and then they have the EA Spotlight, which is gonna reveal scouting reveal. And then on the 26th, they're going to release the ratings. It's rating week, so they're going to start revealing the ratings on the July 26th. So that's a lot to look forward to. That's a lot to take in. I am geeked up. I am pumped up. I'm hoping you guys are on the same page with me in regards to just wanting to get to the game and play the game. I know the beta's fun. It's been real competitive in certain groups of people have been competing and playing at a high level on the beta. But it's the beta. You don't know if it's gonna play like that.
Hey man, like If you flossing about how good you are on a beta, you a weirdo. Like, come on now.
Dimes.
No.
I'm
Like, I'm unstoppable on the unfinished product. Like, all right.
Hey, these dudes were betting money on the beta, bro. Like that's why I'm like, yo, like you bet money on the beta, bro. It's not even finished. But
That's because like some of those dudes, that's the best chance they got.
yeah. Dimes, man, keep up the good work though, bro. All right, so let's get into this. Let's get into this. This franchise stuff this franchise news they released. There's a lot of different things that they've added to the game. Let's get into it. So I know that everybody's heard about the new changes in the franchise mode, and everybody's excited about those things and whatnot. What is the thing that jumped out to you most about franchise mode, Philly?
Talent tree. I mean, just to know that EA has put the time into head coaches, offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators, player personnel, the administrative side of things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and you don't get to jump around your tree. You can choose if you want to go to the left or right of the tree. But it's just the attention to detail, the ability to actually build your team. If you're going to build through the draft, if you're going to build through free agencies, if your team, they need to practice. Do we do with pads today? Do we practice with pads? Do we not practice with pads? Just all of those little elements, getting a full scouting report on your opponent.
All right, so let me ask you this. That sounds great. So let's talk about the features, because you're naming a lot of features that are in the game. A lot of people don't even know what the hell you're talking about right now. They're like, what the hell are you talking about? We don't even know what that is. So let's talk about this. So they Madden 22 is implementing new franchise staff and staff points. And I want to talk about this particular point first, because this scared the hell out of people, because they had a version of the game that comes with franchise staff points. And they were like, well, how does that work in a 32-man franchise, and you didn't buy that version of the game? Now you're at a disadvantage. I don't recommend any commissioner using that, and if a commissioner is using that, he's buns. Okay, so they actually give you the ability to turn off the pre-order
one, the pre-order franchise points. Yeah,
they give you an opportunity to turn off the pre-order franchise points. So we're gonna, in our leagues, we're gonna have that turned off. I would recommend any other league to make sure that's turned off, the pre-order points, so that nobody's coming in at a disadvantage. At a disadvantage, or with a unfair advantage because they bought the pre-order or whatever. But that's more so for you if you're a guy. I'm talking about the real franchise mode heads that are buying the game to play franchise mode because they only play with like themselves or two other guys, and they just want to, and they jump from team to team. No, that's literally what it's for. Like it's a lot of dudes that play it like that. They play 15-minute quarters and they play one game a week. Like those guys. Like that's what it's for. So that's what that's for. In my opinion, it's just for the casual franchise dude, or the dudes that just love franchise, and that's all they play. Not even in a competitive sense with 32 other guys. They just play by themselves, and they play on rookie or pro. So that's for those guys. They have a new weekly strategy dynamic integration, which is in my opinion is amazing. They have an enhanced season engine that has a lot more. It's a lot more in depth. It's somewhat similar, but way more in depth. And Philly was alluding to that now. Now go ahead and allude to that, Philly, what you were saying earlier when you were talking about the weekly strategy.
I'm just like, I'm feeling like Trey Young right now, man. I'm throwing the rocks. You just you've been just like, bam, bam. Yeah. I mean, look, I get super excited. Every time that I go into the franchise mode, for the simple fact that, like you said, depending on how you're going to play, you got staff points that you can get with the different versions of the game. But the bottom line is, it's the in-depth detail. So if you're earning staff points in the game, right, because the pre-order staff points is turned off, you get to build your team.
Definitely.
You get to build your team. Like I said, it depends on if you want to do it on the administrative side of the agency, or if you want to do it through the draft, or you want to do it through XP. So you have these three different options. So if you get a bad team and they have great salary cap space, you might want to focus on that. If you're a win now team, you can lock in on the XP and you can just build your team that way. But then, like you said, the fact that I can decide which game day goals to use, if I know that I'm playing somebody that I can run the ball all over, up and down the field, and I pick that game day goal, I get rewarded for that.
Definitely.
If I'm playing somebody I know that I can pass and get 500 yards, we know that's. I'm just saying, hypothetically speaking, I pass for 500 yards. I know I can do it against this team. I get rewarded for that. So the fact that you can customize those weekly goals and you're not limited, I mean, it seems like a common sense thing, but I have appreciation for the fact that it's actually in the game now. That's why I'm excited about it, because you get to customize your organization, and you're not restricted and limited in doing so.
Definitely. So I want to talk about the talent tree a little bit. The talent tree, you have actually four categories. You have your head coach, you have your defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator, and the player personnel. And all of those things go hand in hand. And I love the way that EA was able to integrate this into franchise mode. There's still a few kinks that they need to work out. I'm sure they're working on, because they've been really engaging with the community in regards to this particular aspect of the game. From what I've seen on Twitter, and Moonlight Swami went into detail with it this morning, way detailed with it. It was crazy. He's one of those guys you might want to look up and find on Twitter, and hit him up if you have any questions, because he's extremely detailed, and he answers and responds at a rapid rate on Twitter. Like, I love the way that dude responds as far as being with EA. But yeah. This is definitely something that you wanna definitely do your research on prior to. Don't get in the league and start playing, and then you find out that you're losing and this and that is because you didn't know what this stuff meant. Watch YouTube videos now. When you finally get your hands on the game and things like that, do your research. Start a franchise by yourself and go through these things and find out what each of these things mean, each of these categories, what the head coach does, what the defensive coordinator does, what the offensive coordinator does, and what player personnel does, because they all go hand in hand. The head coach basically determines what's going on with the coordinators, and player personnel basically determines what goes on in your front office during the offseason. So these are important parts of franchise mode, and you guys want to definitely do your due diligence and finding out the details. We'll try to give you more information as we get it and find out, and we do our research. We'll relay it to you guys so you guys can be more familiar with it by the time you get the game. But definitely, there's a lot of people talking about this on Twitter, because it reminds you of NCAA. It has a lot of NCAA vibes to it, right, guys?
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, indeed. Indeed.
I love it. Like, if you're an NCAA head and you already know what this means. The momentum meter is nothing new to you. The talent tree, the coaching tree, all these things aren't anything new to you. So this is just right up your alley. This is what, if you play Dynasty mode, this is what you wanted. This is what you look for. This is what you want out of franchise mode. In depth.
Yep.
And
they can and they could definitely, they may not be giving all the nooks and crannies on everything yet. They may be adding more to it as well too as the year goes on. You know what I mean? So it's pretty impressive what they've already talked about. It really is. They've done an excellent job, with this. I think it's gonna make franchise leagues absolutely incredible, I think, this season.
Oh, definitely. And then, like I said, they already announced that they're going to be a huge patch, which leads to my question in regards to the scouting and the scouting and the developing scouts and scout assignments and things of that detail, and then as well as the draft boards. They're going to have a big announcement, I'm sure, in a few weeks. About that in detail, but they went into it a little bit, and they gave us a few images to let you know what it may look like and things like that. You see the different scouts, their expertise, if they're regional, their region breakdown, national scouts, they're a national scout, and the grades for that and things like that, the experience they have and how they may impact your team scouting and the way you scout for your players in the offseason. I know a lot of guys like, well, what if you use a draft class? That's a question I had for myself. Like, what does this even matter if you have a draft class? But yeah, you wanna be privy. You still want to have these players or have the best players or personnel in position to make sure your team is successful in any franchise you're in. Especially, like I said, I'm talking to 32-man franchise mode guys. The solo guys, you guys can do whatever the hell you want to do because like you basically dictate your experience. But
Get some friends.
Yeah. Get some friends. But I mean, like the 32-man leagues, the guys that play competitively and they in different leagues. This is for us, and this is what we've been looking for, and this is what we wanted because we're able to have a dynamic. We wanted a dynamic experience because the last 5 years of franchise, we kind of knew what to expect. Like it's the same exact thing. They added little nuances or changed the modules inside the game to give it a different look. But at the end of the day, it was the same thing for the last few years. This year, they've done something different. And we could cry and complain all we want, but I'm going to say try to be a little bit more optimistic because they could have – we know we've gotten way less in the past, but – they had to make a big splash on the next gen console, and I like the fact that they're actually trying to do so this year. So shout out to EA for that. Anything you guys want to add to this? Because these things aren't going to be included now. If you're playing the beta, we don't have access to this at all. But these are going to be included in the first patch. They say it may be in the first patch in September after the game comes out. But my question was, will this be something that will be implemented into franchises that are already going, or will this be something that you will have to wait for to get? So that's a question that if you're a 32 league franchise, you may want to ask. So we'll see. Let's see what else they had. And this is another thing. The mock draft. They have mock drafts now where they predict where players may land based on scheme fits and things.
Those are completely meaningless. Completely meaningless in a 32-man franchise.
Well,
How
yeah.
fast is he? All right,
that's all that matters, right? How fast is he? But no, I think like that's something. If you just it's something pretty to look at, like okay, well maybe you may look at a player that you probably didn't even think or wasn't even thinking to scout or even look into that may be a good fit for your team. So this may be a feasible tool for you, depending on the type of player you are and the type of league that you're in. Now, if you're in if you're like I said, if you're a casual player, you play by yourself or with a couple friends, you're gonna love this. I would love this if I was just playing with my brother and a couple cousins or something. But 32-man league guys, like we're just trying to figure out who's the best player, how can we get him, and what's his development. So that's what it is. So,
is he fast?
Is he fast? So we'll see.
That's all my late round picks are. Is he fast?
Hey, what up, Justin? How you doing, bro? I'm on the leaderboard.
Well, I mean, B-Guard makes a good point, but I don't know, man. I gotta just scratch a little bit on that, Brian, because one of the features that we heard about the relationship between the quarterback and the receiver. That was used as an example, right? Your quarterback can accelerate, the development of your receiver. So, and not just by getting them yards, it's just kind of when you see that there's a game within the game. I think it's going to be a lot more than just getting the fastest players. I think that you're going to have a chance to actually run schemes. Like that's what it looks like the way it's been presented, and I hope that doesn't change. I really hope it doesn't change. I really hope that players aren't the fastest, that they have value. I really do. I really do. So, like I said, it looks like you said, kudos to EA because it looks like that's what they're building.
Yeah, and to answer Justin's response on there, he said he stopped playing the beta because the deep zones are non-existent. I think EA is already aware of that and they're working on that. So I think that's gonna change. Like they're aware. Yeah, definitely aware of that. So that's gonna change. He said the stadium trails are going to ruin the game. I don't know. It depends on like I said. It depends on.
I really don't think that. I feel like the better player's still going to
the better. That's what it is. Ultimately, is going to be. It's going to come down to who can adjust to what the game has to offer. And I'm going to say this: just go into the game. Don't go into it with the mindset of, oh, I want to do this. This isn't this. Just adjust, bro. Like just adjust. Hey, I get it. I feel you. We all. Everybody's playing with the same disadvantage. And I know you a competitor, bro, because I see you on the boards and you watching your numbers on that board. So that means you a gladiator, bro. So just lock in and get it, bro. I feel you. I see you on the boards too, because I see your name on that name definitely looks very familiar. And if I was hoping to play you, you say you're not playing no more. Better get your ass back on that game so I can whoop on you eventually. Hopefully run into each other. But for sure, man. But yeah, it's gonna be. I like it. I like it so far, but I know everybody else has their own personal opinions, and that's that. You know, they have weekly team goal selection. These all play a part in the development points of your coach, defensive coordinators, and the upgrades are by 10, so you can upgrade at a 10-point increment, right, Philly?
Yep.
Okay, so if you can get 10 points you can collect 5 and 5 in 1 week, and that's a huge goal because that's an upgrade for one of your coaches or your team personnel. You know, so that you definitely want to make sure you get that. So let's see. Weekly strategy. This is what Philly was talking about because this is a huge factor. And with game plan in a certain way, it actually alters the way your team plays in certain situations. Correct, Philly?
That's correct.
So if you have inside run, if you say, for instance, you choose offensive game plan focus to run outside, your team is gonna, like I said, inside run blocking is better. Outside blocking is a little bit, so it's a little bit suspect. Or your inside run defense is a little bit more suspect, but they hit you harder on the inside. The O-linemen hit harder on the inside, and on the outside they're a little bit less. They play a little bit more finesse. So that's just my opinion on that. But they have a lot of different focuses within the game planning, so you might want to do your due diligence and research on that as well. They have your key players' health. I wouldn't recommend having the in the 32-man league. I wouldn't recommend having the injuries on in practice mode if that's how you play.
Oh, that'll suck.
Yeah, like they have that in there. We don't play with injuries on in our leagues, but there is a fatigue penalty now. So I think that's beautiful that they added that in there, because at some point in time, if you don't have injuries, a dude can run the ball nonstop with a guy, and you don't ever have to worry about him fumbling or anything or getting hurt.
Telling him.
You know what I'm saying? So it's no penalty. It hasn't been any penalty for that unless you had deflator on. So they actually put a fatigue regression penalty in the game for overdoing it with your players or overexerting your players in certain aspects of the game, which I think is beautiful. I know you all in, bro. I know you all in. And that's that, man. Like here's some other things that they added. Here's how the training. Here's an example of the training recap right here. After you do your game preps and things like that, your game focus. And this is how it looks in game. You know, setting your game plan. This is probably at halftime with inside the game. And these are all different elements. You see they have the press conference here now. This is a little bit more in depth. It's kind of like the same coaching strategy thing where they ask you that question, but now it's like in it's like in interview fashion, so a press conference fashion, opposed to it just being some questions popping up and you selecting yes or no, or run commit to this week, or we're gonna contain the pass this week or whatever. But they actually put it in press conference fashion, which is a little bit more than your coach just sitting at a desk. Now he can do a press conference, and if you're into that sort of thing, that's something you can enjoy. Like the nerds love that kind of thing, So, so here you go. You got the Seattle Seahawks coach in the locker room answering questions, talking to Russell Wilson and things like that, and Russell connecting. It's like it's way more in depth, man. So like I said, you gotta love it, you gotta like it, and from what we've seen so far, it should be extremely entertaining. I think Snipes disappeared, so we're gonna have to jump into this one. So let's get to this one. So, but yeah, how do you guys feel about what we've talked about thus far?
I'm excited, but again, I gotta play the full game to really.
Definitely. So
Really? That's it. That's it. I mean, you sound like the Clippers beat your team in Game 6. That's what you
I
sound like.
don't.
You know what I'm
I
saying? I mean,
don't.
look, see, I was excited about the Knicks
Listen.
from Game 1. Okay, you gotta have faith. You gotta have hope, man. You gotta put a smile on your face. We can go outside and play now. You know what I'm
I have
saying?
faith. I just don't like. I don't like basing my final impression on an unfinished product, and this is unfinished.
So Bigard's waiting for
Look,
the final cut. He wants the real
look,
deal.
look,
Yeah, man. I
look.
don't get excited. I don't get excited about the sneak preview. I get excited about the sneak preview. I don't base my judgment on the movie off of it.
Hey, no, you don't. But the trailer was fire, and you already said off camera that you had rushed into judgment on some things ahead of time. I'm just asking that you just have a little hope.
I
You
do have a little hope.
faith.
I do have a little hope. But I'm not
You don't
like I
sound
said.
like you sound
I
like
want to play the finished product. I want to play the finished product.
we all do. But your momentum here is like
You know what? I honestly think Bigard has a contract with 2K. I'm starting to think that, bro, because
That's what I'm saying.
it's starting.
I've been bashing people who thinks 2K can make a good football game.
I don't know, bro.
I've been bashing them forever.
You're starting to look like a 2K
You can check
admin.
my Twitter. You can check my Twitter.
I'm gonna check your Twitter. It might say my impressions, my opinions do not share the fact of 2K and what they're pushing. The agenda that
Like people who think 2K can come in and just replicate 2005. I think you are morons.
wow.
What?
Yeah.
That's what's wrong right there, right? Everything we're talking about, everything we talked about even last year and what they need to do. Look, it was show me the money, right? Show me the money. And who cares if they're using a model that worked in college football? The model worked, and the people need it, and it's there, and it's worth looking into, and there's layers to it. They're being receptive and they're listening. Does that change anything that happened in Madden 21? Hell no. But you know what? We're not living in the past. We're moving forward. And
Right. I'm excited, but I'm not gonna say I'm not going to go all in yet. Like I said, I've played the beta for a couple days. You all have played it for like a week.
Yeah.
That's only because I found the code in my email that I never look in.
And speaking of code, let's get into the code giveaway for the BGuard code giveaway for the PS5 Madden beta code. Whoever is the benefactor or beneficiary of this code, please thank BGuard and Twitter. Tell them your Twitter so they can thank you for that if they actually access it.
At BGuard_21.
There you have it. And we're going to go into it and just show you guys that code. We're going to put that code on the screen right now. And here it is.
Good luck.
BGuard's Madden 25 PS5 beta code. Now, whoever's the lucky benefactor of this code, like I said, thank BGuard. And I hope you guys enjoy it, man. This is something that everybody's talking about right now. Seems to be the trend in the Madden community right now. I know there's a tournament coming up with Gridiron Gaming this weekend that everybody's also talking about, and it's Madden 21, I think, current gen. But outside of that, if you're not participating in that, you're talking about the beta, and that's what everybody's on right now. They're trying to get the feels and thrills of it and see what comes of it. But here's your opportunity to play it this weekend or play it this week. Here's the code. The code's on the screen. And I hope you guys enjoy that. I'm not sure if you got it, able to punch it in, but there you have it. All right, so with that being said, we're a little bit over time. We kind of messed up, but I thank everybody that tuned in and stayed with us through the mishaps, through the earthquake, through everything that transpired in the midst of us preparing for this broadcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoy. And I'm going to throw that beta code up one more time before we head out. So check it out. Beta code right here one more time. If you're in PS5, here's a beta code. Lock in. Hit that like.
Somebody might have already redeemed it, so.
Somebody redeemed it already?
They might have. Like, it only works for one.
No, it's only going to work for one person. But if you're that lucky person, have fun. Enjoy.
Yeah, but like, if you're still needing the code now, you're probably too late.
Yeah, probably. But this is your opportunity if you were too late to get it it's never. If this is your never too late moment right here to get this code, and then next week we'll have another one because I actually do have a code in my. I forgot I signed up for PS5 as well, so I have a beta code on PS5. So we'll have one again next Wednesday, or maybe sometime throughout the week if we jump on. So make sure you guys keep it locked, hit that follow, like, subscribe button, and what are you about to do, Philly? You about to jump on the beta?
I'm gonna actually watch this Hawks game first, and then I'm gonna hop on to the beta.
Okay. Hawks game, then beta. Okay, got it. You gonna be on tonight, B-Guard? Beta, a little beta game matchup, something?
Probably not tonight. Probably more this weekend.
Okay, weekend. We got you. Weekend, lock in. So definitely, here's the opportunity for the beta. We'll see you guys next week. We may jump on this weekend if any news comes out, but keep it locked, and thank you guys for tuning in.